Hello and welcome back to another In This Thread. I'm your host, Stuckey, and I am joined with my co-host, AnonTheAnon.
Hello, we're back for another round of this stuff. And who are we interviewing today?
Tonight, we are joined by a in-house guest. She is known for her love of the Rhorse, also known as Lyra Bonbon, and delivering requests just years later, the one, the only, Rhorse. Welcome,
Hi,
Rhorse.
I'm a literally who.
Literally who? So, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good. And I got a little bit of the seasonal flu, but I'm all right. I'm kicking. It's not coronavirus.
You're not dying just yet. So that's kind of another leeway. Is how are you holding up with Corona-chan? You know, running around and bonking people.
I don't know. I could be infected. I don't know. I've been giving people rides and stuff. So,
nice. Wait, no, not nice.
In a car with random people, it's like, yeah, I'm probably infected. I don't really care though. If I die, that just means I get to get this Equestria Suna before Jargon Scott, and I get to Lyra first.
All right, and here's why is Lyra your favorite horse? You gotta tell us the whole story there.
Oh man!
Please don't take more than an hour of this. Just don't take the whole running time of the podcast.
I'll try. Okay, so her colors are really it's weird because aside from green, I don't really like any of her colors alone, but together they're just perfect, right? And I've always been I never really listened to music much, but I've always been a sucker for folk music, so that's another plus. God, her eyes are just really pretty. She's got these golden eyes. I think only Granny Smith, Apple Bloom, and Lyra have the kind of eyes she has, and that it's like a gradient from red orange to orange and then to yellow. And it's just really eye-catching, like all that on a background horse. Jesus Christ, how did they get away with creating something so pretty? Oh, she's green. Green is best. That's another thing. If you look at the background in season 1, and maybe I should elaborate. The main reason I like this show is that, and I only learned this because I watched the entire first 2 seasons in Japanese. And there were some episodes I liked way better than the English version. And I had to look back and ask myself why, right? And then I realized I like those episodes better because the background ponies were more entertaining. So that's always been the big appeal for me.
Wait, what?
It's why wouldn't I waifu Lyra?
Wait, hang on. Why would the show in Japanese be more entertaining because of the background horses?
The background horses are the voice actors put way more.
Oh, like the Screaming at Bread one.
The one with the screaming of peanut butter. It is so fucking funny. Hold on, let me look for that and maybe you guys can insert it in the fucking episode. It's really funny. Oh, are we allowed to do that? Are we allowed to put clips from the show?
Yeah, I'm sure we can find a workaround for it. We've done it before.
Oh, this is slowed down to 50% already because it was funnier that way.
Well, the Japanese do speak quite fast. Yeah,
Lyra, she's always just been the one jumping in the background. She's always the happiest. And that plus the way her eyes are, it's like she wasn't meant to be a background horse, but she is, and it's really fucking cute. Here's the video. Please watch this. It's a fucking treat.
What the fuck?
When I was watching this with Sound Guy and the others, I was just 8 times I told them to please fucking rewind for a second. It's fucking killing me. It's so fucking funny. And the Japanese stuff has all these little moments that it's just so fucking great. And then I looked at it in the English one again and it was it was so fucking weak. Absolutely limp dick.
Animation. No, Blue Ball's a voice acting, yeah.
But yeah, that's why I like Lyra. She's really pretty. I can tell.
You can tell. And Bonbon can confirm, too.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you got cucked.
No, I didn't get cucked because anything past season 2 isn't canon.
No, nothing past the fucking pilot is canon. Shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Everything past the book flip is not canon. Fuck off.
Yeah. Everything after the fucking, the opening song isn't canon.
Oh, based?
Yeah, let's rewind just a tad bit. how did you stumble upon the show?
Oh man, okay,
Was it
so
you were making fun of fags or something for being nerds, or how did it start?
so my main boards around the time Pony came out was CO and IC.
Mhm.
I didn't actually draw then. I would just shitpost and LARP that I did. I actually hated artists back then, believe it or not. I thought they were fucking nerds. Yeah, I saw like what was it, Over the Barrel as its own thread, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And of course, there's like no stigma for me to watch it, so it was like, oh wow, Lauren Foss did this. Lauren Foss worked on some cool things. I'm gonna watch this. And then I couldn't put it down. It was so fucking fun. This was like early 2011.
Jesus, that was almost what? No, it wasn't 10 years
9 years
ago.
ago.
You know,
It's 9 years ago. Yeah.
yeah, nine
Oh,
years
man.
ago. What the fuck? So at this point, do you consider yourself a Pegasister? Feel free to answer. You know.
No, I like to refer to myself as a horse fucker, like any normal
Good.
person. I'm
Good
not from
lad.
Reddit, thank you.
Good lad.
I'm sure you've been asked this maybe a couple times, but do you get weird DMs and stuff for being a female that's into the show?
Female girl.
Oh yeah, I still do kind of. Like just the other day, somebody asked me if I would be their online girlfriend, and I do get that sometimes.
What?
Yeah, like hell, last week I think it was, and I bullied the fuck out of them. It was really funny.
Oh, the Sims.
Oh man, but especially when I was still underage and watching the show. Oh my god,
Oh.
I got some weird messages.
So what? Now that you're of age, like they don't see you as attractive anymore?
No, because back then I was also really shy.
Oh my god, ill.
Yeah,
So
I was
got the
very
whole-
skittish, and then people like caught on to that, and they were like, "Oh man,
Wait
hey,
a second.
I saw some of your vocals of you narrating. Is it okay if I masturbate to your voice?" And I'm like, you can
Ooh.
do whatever you want. I can't really stop you. What the fuck?"
Why are you telling me this?
Like even back then, I was getting a kick out of it, but even then, it was still kind of creepy.
This interview already got into weird places.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but
you're asking the right questions for it.
Yeah, I'm asking, is that why you hate Fluttershy so much?
Yeah, actually, when I was a teenager, I used to be exactly like Fluttershy. Like I even like at 16, I moved out and became a vet med student. Like that's how fucking far it went. And then I did drop out of it. I realized that I don't want to take care of animals. I really think horses are hot. They're really cute.
They really are. Well,
And,
see those vaginas?
Yeah, and then when ponies came around, it was just like an outlet. It's not something that brought me into it. It was like, oh, thank God, there's other people. Yeah, that's exactly how it went.
What was probably like the most awkward or like worst DM you got, like from
Ooh.
these weirdos that would just come and just say random shit?
Somebody asked me to read he said he wrote a story and then he would like me to read it, and he didn't like put any context on what the story was, so I was like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. And then I actually look at the fucking thing, and it's about a filly getting raped in the middle of a forest by like people passing by. And I actually did it. I wish I still had the recording. It was probably funny.
Oh man. And you are in fact an artist, correct?
Yeah, I dabble in art. No, it is my main thing now.
What is also probably one of the worst like commissions or requests you have gotten?
I think the weirdest one is that I got asked to draw a cube girl. It wasn't pony related. I probably have it. Hold on.
Cube Girl, is
I
this
might
like a
only have the
Minecraft reference?
No, like there were these threads on D. It's like this thing where you take a girl and then you like push her through a trash compactor.
Wait,
What?
Like a cube, but there's
No.
no like blood or gore or anything. They're just condensed as if they were
Wait.
made out of clay.
So it just turns into a cube, they just get like a cartoon
Yeah, it's a
physics
cube
kind of
girl.
shit.
And somebody asked me to draw his friend as a cube girl. It was so funny.
I've never heard of this.
Oh, you better
before.
find this shit.
Really? There is a whole lot of like there's circle girls, there's pyramid girls, you know, it's a whole thing. And there's even like a whole separate thread for furniture girls. Haven't you ever gone on D?
Fuck.
Oh, Will you guys excuse me for like 30 minutes? I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh, I mean, you are a poop nigga, so.
No.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a pup. No.
Oh
There's
man.
there certainly are toilet girls on there too.
Oh no.
I know. I just wanna fuck the cube ones. I like the edges. They're so pointy.
What the hell?
But
I'm just.
did you find it yet? I want to see this shit.
Pony wise, like the weirdest stuff I've ever drawn forward is stuff I've rendered from Jargon Scott.
Oh, please tell us in gruesome detail of what kind of weird shit Jargon has asked you to draw.
Well, not really draw. Like, I'll take some of his drawings and I'll try to render it so that it exists in 3D space, and in turn, it makes some like really weird fucking shit. Actually, now that I think about it, there is something weirder than that. I rendered the this is some bomb ass AnonTheAnon for Anon.
Oh yeah, for the goodbye animation. But yeah, tell us about your workflow and how you render shit. I will find some of the pictures. I'm gonna dump some of them actually while you talk.
Here, it's already censored for YouTube because I can't find the original.
What the fuck? Oh, look at the square ass.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is the.
I mean, I expected something, but I didn't expect this shit.
I mean, I know the boards can be weird, but I've never seen or heard of this.
Really? Like I'm
mean,
shocked and appalled that you've never heard of Cube Girls.
I mean, oh my god. I mean, like it sounds like you were into board culture like along before Pony came around. Like what?
Oh yeah, like I've been browsing 4chan since like 2007.
Jeez.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so
ever since
like I was around during the Habbo Hotel shit.
So you're an old fag.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not as old, but still an old fag.
Like main different boards before MLP. Like I mentioned CO and IC before, but like even before that, when I was like super underage, I would go on X a lot, and X used to be so fucking cool. I wish it was still cool.
It's just a sad It's just a sad shell of itself.
Yeah, because there used to be a lot of content there. Yeah, you're right.
That's probably an interesting thing. Like, what do you think if Pony came along just a little bit sooner than it did, like in 2010? Do you think like there would be a lot more cooler stuff, like maybe possibly having a red board for Pony, or do you think it was always initially supposed to be a blue board?
I think it would have been. And actually, fun story that when Pony first come out, I actually avoided posting there for like 3 months because I thought it was gonna be another fur fiasco.
Oh god, yeah.
And the story of that for new friends is that Moot on 1 April 1st made a fur board because he's like, okay, I'm sick of you furries. Here's your containment board. Everybody that posted there within a day were completely fucking permabanned.
Oh
and
yeah, I heard about that.
I saw the same patterns in MLP, and I was like, yeah, I am not posting on MLP. This is a fucking trap.
Oh, wait, what?
And it took a few months in before I realized, like, nah, this is probably safe.
And I mean, besides your IRL like love for animals, like what really drew you, Pony?
I don't know, because I am a farm goblin too. So it's like when you're bored, your mind wanders to things. like I'm actually a fucking jungle monkey, right?
That's a very appropriate picture of what you just said, but okay.
Oh yeah, that's something I collabed with Jargon with, and the one above is the thing I did for Anon.
But you haven't posted the best one yet.
Which one?
What?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, God,
is that appropriate? Can that be posted on YouTube?
It could probably be posted on YouTube. It's gonna most likely be censored, at least the top part.
But that's Johnny's head. That's Johnny's head. From edit, you see. But yeah.
Okay, this is just a dive in. This is a dive into insanity.
Yeah.
Shit,
like,
where were
a lot of weird shit, man.
We were talking about ponies. Like, what drew you into them? Was it just like them being cute, or like pastel colors? Like the freedom of drawing something like that. That's quite easy to draw. Like, what was it?
Oh, I just think horsecock is really aesthetic.
Yeah.
No, Lyra is very aesthetic. I really like her.
You need one of them horse cocks to satisfy you. I see.
Yeah.
And tell us, tell us about your process and rendering stuff, because we've kind of skipped over that.
Yeah.
I actually have some video examples because sometimes I save them for like if I do something for an art pack, I will save those.
Your art style is very interesting, though. It's very abstract if you want it to be.
Here, because there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that isn't actually shown in this video, so it's probably good for an example. This one's kind of old though, because this is like mid last year, and I have improved a lot since then. But it does have pretty much my main workflow in that. For this one, I actually started on a 3D base. Like I made, if I can find that, it's actually really funny. I got some like random blob and then a fucking alligator, because the scene this is based off is that one Florida man thing where he's like fucking the alligator in his backyard.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I'll get a base down, whether it's just eyeballing it. Like, I don't really like using perspective lines. I'll either eyeball it or use the 3D base, because anything in between takes too much time. And then I'll just use a generic hard round brush and just blob in like what's getting hit by the light and what isn't. Just very simple shit. And then I'll worry about everything else, like subsurface scattering and ambient occlusion and all that shit, all that good stuff.
Yeah, because I've seen one of your live streams before, like last year, and I mean, it's just you have a very interesting like workflow of like blank canvas to something that's actually like recognizable, and it's just interesting. That's why I mentioned earlier like your other art that's very like abstract. I don't know. There's just something about it that is just like, oh, this is Rat's art, or excuse me, this is Horse's art.
Yeah.
That I don't really see anywhere else, really. I don't know. That's just me. That's a question, I guess, is like, who inspired you to get this like style?
Oh man, a lot. There's a lot of, hold on, I actually have an inspiration chart.
Ooh, okay.
Oh shit.
Jeez.
Let's see if I can find that real quick.
Let's see this shit.
Because my main one is definitely probably Marko Djurdjevic. Not just because his like rendering is really good. His work ethic is also really good. Like back in the CA days, he used to like make people want to kill themselves because they photo bashed and they were being lazy. They weren't being the best they could be. This guy, it's like whenever he gets something or faces something that's like really hard, like way above his pay grade and skill level and all that, he always challenged himself to get it done anyways to the quality he wants, even though it fucking kills him. And that's just like the coolest fucking thing. So here's an example of his stuff. There's also God, there's a lot.
Oh Jesus.
Just off the top of your head, go for it.
A lot. There's also Karl Kopinski, and he does like really nice sketches. I really like his portrait sketches and his paintings. He does traditional paints, and he does stuff for Warhammer 40K.
Yeah.
They're really fucking good. Like, this is something traditional that he did, and it's fucking crazy. And this one right here is big inspiration. Look how fucking pretty she is.
And I was gonna ask you too. Well, it could be a two-parter, but the first thing is that did you have like a lot of prior experience to like, or did you just dive into it? So you just dove into it.
Like I mentioned before, I thought artists were fucking nerds, like pretentious niggers.
What changed your mind about that?
The show, I guess.
So you just wanted to draw Lyra, and you wanted to draw her really good.
Actually, I didn't. Like, Lyra is the one I wanted to avoid drawing because I was scared I would draw her like shit. Like, I actually waited like 2 to 3 years before I drew her.
Jesus Christ.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I'm scared of drawing Rarity, because then my other rare fag bros will like probably shit on me.
Well, you see, you just gotta draw her and then keep it to yourself until you think, yeah, this is good enough to show it to the world.
Yeah.
Here's another big guy. Fucking God, I'm really shit with names. It's it starts with an L. Leyendecker.
I like this stuff though.
It's got some Rockwell vibes to it.
Yeah, like Rockwell is like one of his art waifus. And of course, in turn, I also really like Rockwell. But like the way this guy renders clothes and stuff and faces and whatnot, oh man, I fucking love it. And if you look at his workflow himself, it's like he does this stuff really fucking fast, and he's also a traditional painter, like an old traditional painter. He's probably dead by now.
Wait, how fast would fast be exactly in terms of time spans.
I'm not entirely sure, but given the way he actually does his stuff, like the workflow itself, he probably puts out these oil illustrations and acrylic stuff. I don't know, maybe 2 to 3 hours, maybe even faster than that.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Well,
the guy's fucking crazy if you've seen his sketches.
Yeah, I mean, you do it so much, you get so much practice, it just becomes second nature, and you get good basically.
There's also a lot of like side artists that I like.
Are there any pony related artists that you look up to?
Jargon Scott.
Oh,
he is so cool. I wish I could be Jargon Scott. like it's weird because like everything he does, like even like the quickest shit posts, it's like it's automatic appeal and shape design. It's like he's like a secret genius that I don't get it myself really. He's just so cool.
It's all based on shit posts. That's the key to everything.
Yeah.
You just gotta draw the thing.
It's like he's like manifested shitpost energy and made it his own thing. Like I don't know.
It's blessed to shitpost. It's not even cursed. It's just blessed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the quickest way to a woman's heart is to shitpost. Got it.
Hell yeah.
Are there any other pony artists that you look up to, or it's just Jargon? Or maybe just like completely anonymous people too, like on the board that inspired you too, maybe?
Not really, no. I'm like a huge believer in taking all of my inspiration from outside sources, because if you don't do that, then you're going to, and your like whole inspiration is like the top 5 people on MLP or Tumblr or Derpy Boru. It's like you're just gonna have like all this like fucking, that's not the word I wanted to use. Help me out here.
Like a mixture.
It just becomes a telephone game of recursive error in art.
Yeah. That's it. I do look up to because I read a lot of green texts. I actually used to write first before drawing, and I still talk with like the original AIE fags. Like they're the ones that really spurred me on at the beginning, and it still does. Like I still lurk generals and read a lot, and they make me want to keep drawing more. Actually, without them, I probably jumped ship a long time ago.
So speaking of drawing more, this is a question that I kept. What are the worst things that get taught in art? Like the stuff that
color wheel.
Color wheel. Tell us why the color wheel is a meme that should not exist.
I thought you were a fan of the color wheel. I could have sworn you had plenty of conversations where you're praising the color wheel. This is news to me.
Fake news. Okay, so oh god, where do I start with the color wheel? It's like abstraction over abstraction. So the original color wheel, like way back in the day, it was just like 4 colors. And that's where it should have stayed and forgotten of like, because even like artists back then, obviously they knew how light worked because they would study it so much. Like they didn't have any terms for it or anything, but they knew what they were doing. And then now you have these faggots that are like teaching each other bullshit. Because it's like light is an actual studied field, right? Like there are whole physics books about light. Why are you studying theory? Like, think about that for a fucking second. It's like breathing versus theories, reading theories on breathing. Like, why would you do that?
All right,
so fucking retarded.
Here's the thing. For rendering, it's bullshit. But what about picking color schemes and shit? But does it have any basis for that?
I mean, it could. Like, there's some shit that's obvious, but it has more to do with local value than the actual colors themselves. Because a lot of these people that preach the color wheel, like, their fundamentals are so flawed they don't even... Because if your values are shit, your colors will be shit. Like, there's no way around that. And most of these people have shit values.
I'm sure you've seen plenty of cancerous OCs in the day, and even... sometimes just weird color patterns in the show. What would you say to help them, have a better color template than if you don't believe in this like color wheel and such?
I will post something real quick.
Go for it.
Where is it?
Because I too use a lot of like outside references when I color ponies and such that are like OCs. Like I actually use Warhammer references, like the Space Marine chapter colors. And again, not all of them fucking are good, but most of them are. And then even just like uniforms from like the medieval times, like of knights and then sometimes samurais, like a lot of those colors tend to work really well together. But when you see like weird shit out there that people want their colors for their OCs, like I even have told other people, I'm like, these colors don't work, but if you want it to be that way, okay.
I found it.
All right, go for it.
Oh wait, let's see.
Okay, so you can usually find stuff like this for characters that are like popular. So looking at this, what is the first thing you think about?
Oh, Street Fighter.
Yeah, exactly. Like these colors are so recognizable, and it's just pretty much one base color. And I know it's kind of a meme because it's usually taught the wrong way, but what really makes these work is what is it called? The golden ratio. So everything, like, it's not even just color, it's in composition too. So you should be thinking about it all the time. It's in composition, design, color, and just pretty much everything you'll be doing. It's also in other fields like fucking writing and music fagging and all that. Pretty much everything is split off in like a 70 to 30% ratio, and that's what catches our attention. So if you have a base color that's like 70% of what you're doing on a character design, and then divvy off the 30% later, and then within that keep cutting it down, you will almost always have a really good looking character palette, so, if that makes sense. I'm probably talking out my ass.
It does.
Okay.
No, it does in the terms of color and such. Another thing too, like that also identifies characters and stuff. I don't know if you've encountered it. Maybe you could throw in your own 2 cents here. But the whole like silhouette rule too, like making characters not be that over the top but still recognizable. Like, does that kind of work with ponies too, or is that harder to do?
Yeah, you can do it with ponies.
If you show a silhouette of like, let's say like Rarity, right? Like her mane is, unique.
Squiggly tail.
Yeah, it's unique. Like, what about like the other ponies, like Lyra? Like her mane isn't
she's
that
really pretty?
Yeah, Bon Bon has a lot of fun brushing her mane. Like, how does that work for pony though?
It's hard to explain without actually drawing it. And you're referring to the silhouettes themselves, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you really want to make a really pleasing silhouette, just take a picture of Lyra and erase some details and add kind of shittier ones. And then you will have a really good design because Lyra's really pretty, and worse from there, right?
Of course.
Makes sense.
Or for Lyra, right? Let's talk about Lyra for a little bit.
Oh yes.
Yeah, let's talk about her.
So for really Lyra, pretty. Besides her being like in the background doing little wacky things and such, what did the fandom produce that really caught your attention? Because you did, I mean, it's true, she's a background horse. Besides her color palette, a couple of lines here and there. What else outside the show reinforce these feelings for your waifu? Like, are there any stories or stuff like that help you out?
At first, not many. Like, I even avoided the Lyra threads until like 3 years ago because I thought like the hands thing was super forced, and I fucking hated it. Like, I just wanted to take her from me and just be on my way because I hated that shit. And I didn't like any stores. I hate Femfic. It's a fucking awful site. There's nothing good there. And if there is something good, it's usually from a green text. And okay, Background Pony is written well, but I never got past the first chapter because I can't read my waifu being said. Can't do it. What was the question again? I got sidetracked.
What other things besides like the show itself, like what fandom creations reinforce your feelings for Lyra?
Definitely the shitposting, because Lyra is, let's be honest, she's a poster mare for shitposting. Any artist that shitposts has drawn Lyra doing something really silly. That and fucking Bon Bon. That's definitely my favorite green with Lyra.
Bless you.
Like, even though she's a support character, she's just really fucking good.
She's more than just her support character.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's canon.
Ironically, in the fucking Bon Bon series, she is actually Bon Bon's girlfriend. But the gay jokes were so funny that I forgot about it. There's this one part where, because in the story, Anon acts exactly like Bon Bon, and they're both grumpy, and they're always fighting. And Anon he goes like, he says something about Bon Bon having to eat a lot of dirty cunts to retain her cunt powers, and then Lyra just goes, "Hey, that's not nice." And then Anon turns, he's like, "I'm not talking about you, Lyra. I'm talking about all the other fucking dirty cunts she eats to retain her cunt powers." And they just keep fighting the whole time with Lyra just smiling and wholesome right next to them, and it's such a good fucking story.
Was Lyra like your first choice, or did any other mares like catch your attention in the show?
I did have favorite mares. No, not favorite, like mares I really liked, but like not like waifu.
And who are they?
And, like first few episodes I ever saw, it was Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was like jumping and smiling and singing, and it's pretty much the same reasons I liked Lyra, right? 7 episodes, Punk had so many little songs and happy moments that I really liked, and then it just didn't happen again really until like season 2. So it was like, yeah, I'm dropping this. She's not going to be consistent about this. I don't know. I do like Rarity. She's really pretty too. She's a fancy horse.
Very pretty and very fancy.
Of course,
so
there's
how long
like,
did it take for? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Like, there are some other characters I like. Like, I can't say I hate Autumn Blaze, even though I'm kind of salty because Autumn Blaze is pretty much the characterization that people gave Lyra, and Autumn Blaze just swooped in and stole it and left Lyra in the dust to become a faggot.
But you see, she's floofy. That's why she's so pretty. I like her.
Yeah, she's all right.
Yeah, she's. So here's the thing. How long did it take for you to settle on Lyra, though? Because you had all those horses that you listed that you liked, but when did you decide that Lyra was your one true? How long did it take? 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, a year?
Okay, so at first all of these mares were pretty much on even ground, right?
Yeah.
But I don't like to talk about this, but I used to have 3D PD, right?
Oh.
So after that whole breakup, it was a messy one. I just went straight for Lyra. Oh man, what a mistake! I learned.
You just ran into her floof, and she just cuddled you and say, "Shh, I'm here."
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what happened. That was like 2013, like mid 2013.
And again, speaking more about Lyra, do you like her just as her like base form, or do you like drawing her with socks, maybe a hoodie when you're drawing Lyra?
I actually write about her more than I draw her for the Lyra threads, right. And the way I write about her is I make her really fucking horsey. Like, she'll like drop a carrot and like a half-eaten carrot into your lap and nuzzle the back of your hand and lick it, trying to get you to eat carrots so that you can run away from predators. Like, just really wholesome horsey shit like that. I fucking love it. Oh man. And that's why, like, earlier I mentioned that a lot of those older stories didn't age well for me. Early fandom stories, it's like everybody wrote horses like just quadruped people. Some of them were good stories, don't get me wrong, and some of them have aged well as stories, but the stories you get now are like really fucking horsey. Like, people have really developed how their behaviors are because the show is so shit that people have to derive from it. It's so much better now.
It's something I've noticed too. I mean, of course, depending on the story, not every story is gonna be decent because you mentioned that like people often write them as like if they were just other people, that gets boring rather quickly.
Yeah, you gotta make them horsies. Make them nipple when you scritch them between the ears. Make them snort when you say something that's weird to them.
So based off of that statement, when did you start seeing like MLP kind of devolve into the thing you once loved into like, oh my god, this is trash now?
Season 3, and it wasn't because of Twi'lek. It was just like the beginning of season 3 all the way to the end of it. It was just like, aside from the Scootaloo episode, like I don't think anything good came from it. And then I actually stopped watching the show at the end of season 3 for like 8 months, stuck around and read stories, and I was like, yeah, I'm done with the show. I'm actually fan of the fandom. Fuck off. And before, that was like such a frowned upon thing, and now it's, if you're a fan of the show, there's something wrong with you. It all worked out. No, I did continue watching the show because of narrator Anon. He brought me back into it.
You watched the last episode. Most people did.
Yeah, I've watched everything.
You can watch it all.
Do you enjoy Lyra and Bon marrying?
Absolutely not.
At least, okay, listen. At least it's not Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh my god, I was so upset, like, of what could have been.
Tell us about that.
Mad. God, what an whoever wrote that needs to get shot. Who fucking Kiwani 2 here? Let's go.
The show kind of dropping in quality and whatnot. Were you one of those people that like kind of that came back and were like, I kind of want to improve this. Like, I don't want to see the show like just die off. Like, I want to add my little 2 cents into the fandom. Like, was that an idea that crossed your mind, or you just did your stuff to just do your stuff?
I almost was just like, I couldn't give a shit about it anymore. And then I stumbled back into reading green texts, and that set me right. I browse RGRA a lot, and I also go to SlavePwn, because those are the 2 threads that make them the horsiest. So I'm like, oh man, this is good shit.
And that's another thing too. Like, you've been around like in 4chan for like a long time, and you've seen the board itself like in its heyday. And then just and then
that's pretty good.
So yeah, you've seen it like when it was awesome, but how far has it fallen, like, in your honest opinion?
I actually like it a lot more than it was before. Because
Really?
back then you couldn't even have a proper waifu thread without somebody hijacking it with Spider-Man.
Oh my god, I remember that.
Remember?
Yes.
Or, like, somebody else would like post their waifu and be like, fuck off, this is a Pinkie Pie thread now. No, this is a Twilight thread now. And the board was moving so fast, you couldn't have any kind of like civil discussion, and like all the writing was condensed into AIE. And it was shitty because nobody got along, and the threads, there would be like 3 threads a day. It was fucking crazy. So like the alternative, what happened to TG recently is that the board got faster because of Redditors thinking 5e makes them, they lurked enough. 5e is really shitty. Die. But so on TG, the board is so fast now that all the writers just completely jump ship until like recently. There's been 2 threads where people are posting stories, but it's like everybody. There's no more like weekend smut threads or anything like that, or just like comfy greens, like the whole Paladin Anon greens from way back. There will be nothing like that anymore because the board is way too fast. I'm really happy the horse board is really slow now. Like, that's the best thing that could have happened to it.
I mean, I've heard like mixed reactions from it. I mean, people do miss the whole like, hustle and bustle of it back then, and then just, content being created on the board and whatnot. But other people do like agree with what you just said. Like, it's slowed down so like threads can actually like develop and such. I mean, to each their own. What's your take on like on fucking clout goblins and such?
Oh,
like,
clout goblins.
Yeah, like you seen them. Like, I think it's rather recent. I personally think like 2-3 years ago, all of a sudden they started migrating to fucking Twitter and asking for brownie points.
Like Scoutmaster.
Fucking also known as No Luck Philly Fuck.
No Luck Philly Fuck. Equestria didn't invent an age of consent.
Like, what are your thoughts about those types of people? Like, do you think they were really fans of the show and art to begin with, or they saw, some just, I guess, like a fucking opportunity to like milk some money out of bronies?
I don't really think they're even trying to milk money out of bronies, because they're not actually making any content. They're just talking shit, and it's really funny. I think it's fucking hilarious. Please keep doing it.
Yeah, you just gotta agree with the big guys, and then you get the clout.
I mean, to each their own. Like, personally, I don't see any appeal in like getting used for shit I don't actually believe in, and just like going on social media a lot. Like, I don't care for it. So if they want to spend their time doing that, then good on them. But it's really funny to me. Like, the fandom is so fucking dead now. like, there's no clout to be had here. What the fuck are you doing?
And most of these turn into furries.
Yeah. Most of them are furries, and they have no say in anything. But they should have no say, but they think they do.
I mean, they're probably all gonna move to the Steven Universe fandom soon enough. Show's dead.
It's over, and then apparently there's like a civil war going on in there. So
oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh man.
Yeah, fuck those guys. Weird question here. Do you or did you have a tulpa of Lyra?
I thought about getting one, but that takes way too much time because you're sitting there meditating 3 hours a day, and I read somewhere that it causes like early onset for schizophrenia, and that runs in the family. So I'm nah.
I mean, it's literally self-induced schizophrenia. You shouldn't be trying that shit. I mean, unless of course you're a little bit desperate. You know, sometimes you just want a waifu. Also, yeah, just bouncing against that question. Still a question about Lyra. Here's the thing. You love her so much, but would you love her in any true shape and form, or is there some limitations to that?
Like if she was a zebra?
Like maybe she's a source filmmaker model. I don't know.
No.
Wait, can I
okay.
Can I go back?
Yeah.
Like, it's not self-induced schizophrenia, bro.
It's like a personality disorder, really.
You can't give yourself a mental illness, though.
Oh no. Don't cancel me on Twitter.
Shit, what was the question again? I am kind of tired.
Yeah,
if you love, would you love Lyra in every form? Yeah. So even if she would come to this world as a human female.
No, she comes in this world as an anthro with a huge 50-foot long cock or something. I don't know. But it looks like source filmmaker with bad textures and shit.
Okay, so I'm stealing MCOG's answer, and because I asked him this before, and he said, yes, but I would find a cure.
No, there's no cure. There's no cure. That's fucking cheating. No.
Lyra has magic though. She'll find a way to cure herself.
She can fucking lift cups with that magic. She's not like celestial shit. No, that's just breaking the rules. You gotta accept her the way she is, but you can still kill her if you want. Would you put her out of misery or something?
Jesus.
Yeah, actually I would. Because I love her so much. I wouldn't want her to go through being anthro. That's fucking gross.
But what if she would come to this world as a human and she looks at you and she's like, "Would you be my bonbon?"
Would I be her best friend? Sure.
Yeah, totally best friend.
Yeah, I could go for a best bro.
That wear bridal dresses together. Yeah, totally best friends.
She's a human, but she still has tickly whiskers. She's like has a really long mustache.
What?
Yeah, tickly whiskers are always a plus. That just sweet feel, really. I get to be friends with somebody with tickly whiskers. That's so fucking cool. Holy shit. I get a friend?
Oh man, that's a thing.
What, tickly whiskers?
Yeah.
Friends.
Oh, you don't know about the tickly whiskers. Rhorse. Oh god, that was hard to. Our horse. There we go.
All right, I got something.
The tickly whiskers. Tell us what's so appealing about them, because looks like Stuckey here doesn't know about them. Look at them. Look how beautiful that is.
What the hell?
Okay, so the tickly whiskers thing actually started off as a shitpost in the old slave pwn IRCs. Because there was a fag in there that actually took care of horses. And we would shitpost all the time about horsey things. And some of them included tickly whisker kisses. And it just stuck. Like, I don't really talk to them much anymore, but I still think about tickly whiskers. It's really appealing.
Flintlocks, are those also a thing you enjoy?
Yes. Unshorn, a little muddy, I don't mind.
And what's the worst part of a horse? If there is any.
I don't think there is one.
Think about that one. Huh. Oh, yes, here we go. So there's these rumors or statements going around that you think of individuals who waifu the Pegasi ponies as subhumans. Why is that?
Well, like I mentioned before, right fagging has evolved into making horses more horsey. In turn, Pegasi have gotten more weird in that there's something between a horse and bird in behavior. And that includes like splashing around in your bird bath like an asshole and taking clumps of paper and clothes and making nests when they get stressed out. And just like literally fucking shitting on people, or like on a bird, you can't pet anything without it being weird for them. And it's just like, why? Why would you go through all that?
I mean, there are some individuals who don't mind being wrapped in those wings.
Yeah. Wings are
Wholesome.
weird.
Oh, okay.
Listen.
But enlighten me. Enlighten
Listen, they're just weird, fucked up arms. That's literally what they are, and they got feathers and shit. If the horse is light, because they gotta be light to fly, that means that they are less thick, and thick is best, and the rest is gay. So Pegasi are not thick.
Speaking of shitting on species and whatnot, do you have an OC?
I do, but it's mostly a shitpost OC. Like, people draw this OC when they want to bully me, and they usually draw this OC getting fucked or something, or bullied, and it's really funny.
Do you have any images of said OC?
Here's the latest drawing. Actually, it's a collab between me and Anon.
Oh shit. It's the one.
She looks fucking evil. Oh my.
Yeah, she is. So you don't feel bad about kicking her.
Where's the cutie mark at?
You see, her cutie mark is actually green colored because her special talent is being green.
She reminds me of a fucking... She reminds me of an orc.
Yeah, I took the design off of 40K Gretchen and orcs.
Have you done any works with your OC, like any writing or anything like that?
Oh no, it's just purely there for people to kick.
Ouch, an earth pony.
Yeah, she is an earth pony.
I would assume maybe since you hate Pegasi so much, making her a Pegasi.
Yeah, that would be better, but I mean, goblins don't have wings, so I just kept it simple. Like she already has fangs. That's something, or tusks rather.
Very interesting. Go for it.
Oh wait, no, I wanted the definition of a goblin actually, because you could probably tell us some stories about that.
Yeah, there's been times where you've been called a goblin. Like, where does that originate from? If you mind telling us a story.
So, it all started with like ex-horsefucker TG fags. Well, they were originally TG, and then they wrote for AIE for a bit, and then went back to TG. And I would tell them like goings on in my day. I think I said that wrong. And like, I've known them for years, since 2012 when the board was new, and so they knew a lot about my day-to-day. And then last straw on the camel's back was I posted an article about like 3,000 goblins having to live in caves or something like that. It was like some news article, and they were like, yeah, that's it, you're a goblin. And they didn't drop it. And then I would call other goblins goblin, and just kind of spread from there.
Yeah, I was always curious on why you were called the goblin. Talk about a little bit about your drawing and stuff. So when you draw, and I know you mentioned this before, at least when it comes down to Discord, sometimes you're in a Discord call and you're drawing, but you don't really engage with other people.
Yeah.
What about, like, do you have other background noise, like maybe music or maybe some like just another show running in the background? Like how do you what's your environment like when you're drawing?
I used to play audiobooks, but it's kind of shitty because I'll focus so hard on drawing, I'll have to like step back like 30 minutes at a time every time. So I'll be listening to it, I'll be into it, and then like 30 minutes will pass and I won't even realize. I'm like, wait a minute, what was I listening to again? So a lot of the times I'll just listen to like really plain video game OST or just sounds. Like sometimes ASMR is really nice. I'll talk to people.
And like, have you, when you're drawing and stuff, like, do you post like works in progresses and stuff like that, or you just like you only post like your finished work and that's it?
I post whips every now and then to different people. Not really anywhere regularly, like where I am at the time, because I'm in like a million art chats. So just whenever it's relevant. Like if I'm in a voice call with somebody and I mention it and they asked for it, I'll post a whip. Besides just drawing, do you do anything else? Do you do animations and stuff like that? I know you mentioned you do writing, but like, do you do anything else? And recently I picked up learning the lyre, and that's been really fun. I do 3D. Actually, I started doing 3D before drawing too. Oh yeah, I use ZBrush and SketchUp for things, and it makes some people cringe, but I really like those.
Did you do traditional art before you moved to?
For a little bit, because when I started drawing, I was actually on a trip through Thailand because I had like just dropped out of everything and went like complete radio silence, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna leave the country. And I did, and it was really fun. I did like all the fundamental stuff. Like I drew boxes and learned perspective and learned the basics of everything. And then I came back and I got a tablet and I sat down after like 3 months, and I burned through like almost 80 pages a week, right?
Jeez.
For like 2 months, and then I finally sat down to a tablet, and everything was shit. I wanted to die. Oh man, that was funny.
That's something that a lot of artists I've known. It takes them a little bit more time to transition from traditional to digital, and it just fascinates me on some other artists that are like they do it within like a couple weeks.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because when I don't do traditional often anymore, but every time I do, like after I get past the initial like why the fuck is my hand in my face, this is weird stage, I actually find that I like drawing lines a lot with ballpoint pen, and then I'll be like, why am I having fun? This feels unnatural. I'm not supposed to have fun doing lines. What the fuck? And then I'll go back to doing digital, and that's where I'll stay.
What's your preference?
Definitely digital.
And is there like a major reason why?
I can cover up mistakes.
That's the one thing I have to deal with while doing traditional art is like if you fuck up, like you have to start all over sometimes in certain parts because something got fucked perspective issues and stuff like that.
Because the way my workflow is, I will still start over sometimes, but at least I don't have to do any prep work or anything, I don't have to feel like, oh fuck, I wasted a piece of paper.
You don't ever have that feeling of just, I guess like that, pencil to paper type thing.
No,
that doesn't bother you.
No, it's fine. I don't know.
Yeah, because I know there's some people like, especially when it comes to books and stuff, like having a Kindle, nice and all, you can have hundreds of books in it, but like some people just, I don't know, they just didn't like it. They like the feeling of having an actual book in their hand. Probably assume like for some artists too, like a lot of them just like having the feel of connecting paint to canvas or pencil to paper type deal.
I feel like that for 3D stuff. Like if I mess around with clay, it's really nice to actually have the weight of clay in my hands. And then I'm like, okay, now I want to slice this part off, mirror it, and then merge down. Wait a minute, I'm doing this traditionally. I can't do that in 2 seconds. And then it's like, oh, I'm gonna go back to the computer. This sucks.
So you would say both of the styles have their pros and cons then? Yeah,
like the feel of traditional definitely is nice. I won't bash that, but it's just it takes so long.
What keeps you to like keep going? Because there's a lot of artists and writers and stuff that like after they post some stuff, like they're just like, this isn't like what I thought it was gonna be. Like maybe some people like you mentioned before in AnonTheAnon's interview to like check your ego at the door type deal. Like what kept you to keep going and like you to take the criticism as criticism and not people just shitting on you?
Same answer. I just shitpost. Like if you're shitposting, it really doesn't matter. And most of the things I made are for other people anyway, and they're usually just thankful. Or I'll shitpost to make someone mad, and that's even better.
And it feels like you work well with others. I've seen you in Clap for a Cause, for example. How do you feel about like working with others though, like in general? Because some people have very different opinions about working in groups and such. Like, how do you feel about it?
Oh man, I love working in groups. It's so fun. Like again, it kind of shocks me like how many clout goblins there are in the fandom, but like usually in these packs, it's a select few people getting invited anyway.
Oh yes, the Illuminati.
Oh, not even that. Like, because in Clap for a Cause, it was like you have to know somebody in it to get in it, and because of that kind of mentality, is mostly cool people in it.
Yeah,
And there was also the rule of no drama. If you started stirring up drama on Twitter, you were not invited to the pack to begin with.
Like, no drama, and if you had beef with somebody, take it to PM or get the fuck out.
That's rather interesting, because that doesn't really happen nowadays. People just start shitting in the server, and then all of a sudden, the main reason of why you guys are all together just gets, drowned out.
Yeah.
That's a good take. And I'm surprised, too, that you said you enjoy working with other people, because other people sometimes don't like to work with others.
Man, I don't know why I enjoy it, really, because normally I'm really antisocial, but I feel like if I'm working in a group, there's like, and everybody's doing their part to, like, do the best they can do, it's like, it makes you feel like you want to do the best you can do as well. It's just such a good feeling.
I know you had some select words when it comes down to criticizing other people's art, but if anyone were ever to come to you and be like, hey, I need some criticism, how do you normally respond?
It depends where they're at. Like, if they're like really, really fucking new and there's like absolutely no fundamentals and there's simple drawing and all this stuff, like, I'll lay it down for them straight. Like, I'll be like, hey, buddy, you gotta take a few steps back, and here's a nice book. It'll teach you how to observe things as they are, and then you'll be golden. Because, like, a lot of beginner problems is that, because the best tool an artist can have is to be able to observe things, because you need it to learn from other things, and you need it to see the mistakes in your own work and start rationalizing it. And if you don't know it's there in the first place, then you have a problem. So, like, I'll help them out with that, but I'll just, like, be straight up, just draw more, and here's a book. But if they ask something specific, I will answer it very specifically. If they ask something really vague, then I will shitpost. I'll tell them to just feel it. LMAO, just get good. What the fuck are you doing? It's so funny.
All right, note to self: ask specific questions unless you want to get memed on. Got it.
Yeah.
This might actually be an interesting question going off of that. Speaking of method of drawing stuff, since we're all talking about self-improvement, what is the best method of drawing a body and what is the worst one? You all want to know shit opinions about shit methods. Because,
drawing a body?
Yeah, drawing a body. Is Loomis the worst method? Yes or no?
Not the worst.
Then what is the worst?
Because Loomis doesn't really teach anatomy, he teaches proportion. And even then, well, his proportion is kind of wacky too, but it's how he breaks it down, and what you should be getting from it is that you see how he breaks it down and you go and you break it down yourself. Like, and people just take that really wrong, especially on IC. They see these graphs Loomis made himself and they're like, I'm going to copy these graphs exactly and then I'll be good at anatomy. Like, no, that's not how it works. Yeah, I think Hogarth has some really fucked looking anatomy, and it's really funny.
Man, there was a chart about that. The chart Hogarth versus the Virgin Loomis.
Yeah, and then the Chad Hogarth had like a lot of anatomy errors on it. It was so fucking funny.
So what is the best method? Like, we talked about the worst, but what is the best method in your opinion?
For some people, Michael Hampton works, but I thought he was fucking boring. It's actually Scott Eaton that helped me out a lot. He has this 8-week course on CG peers. Should I be shilling torrent sites? I don't think I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah.
He has this 8-week course that you can totally pay for. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That he breaks down anatomy. I think somebody's mowing next door. I'm sorry. He's got this like 8-week course, and it's like complete with assignments and reviews and all that. And he breaks all the muscles down into like a really digestible kind of thing. And like first he talks about like the skeletal structure and proportion, and it's really good. And then you start getting into different body parts. And when you do the assignments, it all clicks. Like, I always recommend that when people ask me like where I learned anatomy from.
Because some people are just like, oh, just watch these YouTube videos. Other people are like,
God.
Yeah,
don't watch Proco.
No. You watch it. There's a good he can draw good kangaroos.
Kangaroos.
Oh man.
I want to make a kangaroo
Is-
Lyra.
Do it. We can have it as the header for this one interview.
Yes.
We're just gonna cuck
Lyra.
NDF out of this.
Goblin Pone holding kangaroo Lyra like that Death Stranding picture.
And she looks fucking terrified. What? Like I know you've mentioned like Warhammer and such. Have you ever drawn some crossovers of ponies in power armor and such?
I actually haven't. Like, I might have a few sketches around where I try drawing like Warhammer aesthetic armor on ponies, but it's not really like a crossover thing. It's just like trying to understand the design. Because some of the art in Warhammer Fantasy looks so cool, like the horse armor.
Yeah.
I actually have those saved somewhere. Let me see if I can find them.
Yeah, I have some references of ponies and armor, and some of it like makes sense. Others kind of don't. I'll post it like in ITT as an example of one of them. I have always liked ponies and armor.
Oh, whoops! I posted in the wrong chat. I'll post it in ITT.
Oh, rip.
And here's some dwarf ponies.
You drew this.
No, God, no. I wish.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I'm like, oh, Jesus, this is amazing.
If I drew this, oh man, I would draw Lyra in this armor, and I would be really happy.
You could.
I could.
No one's stopping you.
See, look how fucking cool this is.
Oh shit! Look at that.
And here's a Robopone.
Like mechanical one more.
Lyra Robopone.
I like the sword on the side with the hand holding it and it just rotates around.
And I wish the horse armor in the show looked this cool.
What's the point of the horses fucking royal guards in the show anyway?
Eye candy.
Yeah.
Right. Pretty mare.
Pretty mare.
Speaking of, what are your thoughts about like Kieran's and Bat Ponies and all that, like, variety stuff that isn't just vanilla?
Okay, so Kieran is okay, I guess. I can't fault them for being dirty chinks, but Bat Ponies, actually fun story that the original Bat Pony story was actually an AIE story, and we created the Bat Pony threads to piss the original writer off because he was ashamed of it. And for some goddamn reason they caught on, and it's just OC fagging now. And I don't like the threads because of that, like the Moth Pony threads, the dragon threads, they all turned into OC fagging, and it's fucking gross. And the satyr threads too. Oh god, they're all fucking trannies.
Preference and stuff like that. But if Lyra wasn't your number one, who else would it be?
Please say a good one.
Either Celestia or Bonbon.
Good.
Yeah, maybe Celestia. She's tall and big and strong.
So you're saying if Lyra became as tall as Celestia, she'd become the ultimate goddess?
Of course. Well, she already is the ultimate goddess, but yeah, she would.
Oh, she's just hiding it, then.
Yeah, she's hiding her power level.
True autistic level, yes.
Please, let's have this as the header for the interview.
Oh my god. Questions for the future. Are there any projects you're currently working on, commissions, writings? I know you mentioned before you're helping AnonTheAnon in his project, but is there anything else you're working on as well?
Well, I am working on something non-horse related, unfortunately. But as far as horse related, I don't know. Because I've been a part of art packs for so long, I feel like I'm forgetting something by not being in one right now. I mean, when the Small PP Pack 2 and Colonize 2 comes out, I will be a part of those because I promised I would be around for round 2.
What the fuck is Colonized?
Colonized is something Era Zero was running. It's like a humans dominating ponies art pack.
Okay.
Last year it got canceled, so we released those things for free. Actually, the Ember thing I showed is from that art pack.
I want to be honest, by the name it sounded like a striped but the reverse, so it was going to cause a lot of controversy.
Oh man. Honestly, that's what I got from it too. I was like, why is this called Colonized? Just call it Human on Pony. It'll sell better, right? Because the fuck does colonized mean?
There's an issue going on right now that Patreon and other services similar to that are actually cracking down on individuals that are drawing like human on animal stuff.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So I don't know if that art pack out still, because I think Humans on Ponies also is on similar traction of the things that Patreon TOS is starting to crack down on.
Well, I don't think most of these art packs use that. I think they mostly use like itch.io or whatever it's called, and eJunkie and whatnot.
Even like I think Discord was messing around with that too. Like one TOS is saying like, oh yeah, don't draw any human on anything else that is
nice
human.
meme.
and I'm like, cool. He just killed like 90% of the servers out there.
Posting as usual. Nobody can enforce it because nobody cares.
Yeah, they're all fucking furries.
Yeah, that too. Fuck furries.
Yeah, fuck furries. I hate those guys.
Yeah, I hate those guys too.
Same.
Yeah, actually, you gotta tell us the goblin story you promised.
Oh yes,
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a side story of a goblin story. There you go.
Well, which one do you want me to say?
Oh, which one you think would be the funniest to hear on the podcast? There's so many of them.
I don't think I told this one. When my grandpa first went to the city for the first time, because he usually walked up and down the mountain completely barefoot. Like, he had calluses for fucking days, right? Like, he could match up a fucking horse in terms of, like, calluses. Right. So he goes to the city the first time, and first time he's ever worn slippers. He actually lost his first slippers because in Goblin Town, in most Asian countries, you take your slippers off before stepping inside something, right? He took his slippers off before going into the bus, and then the bus started moving, and he started freaking out because he left his slippers. But bless my grandpa. And second time, these were brand new fucking slippers, and he was walking on the beach. He felt like somebody was like throwing sand at the back of his, and every time, like 8 times, he turned around to like fight someone, but it was his own slippers like putting sand at the back of his neck because there were flip-flops.
Wait, how fucking powerful were they?
I don't know. Like, he probably had some really big feet. I don't know for sure. He died when I was really little. Because, you know, typical goblin have the expiration date as a carton of milk, so you can't really help that. I'll probably die in the next few years, too. And it'll be okay, because I'll get to Equestria first and get Lyra, and fuck you guys, she's mine.
No. I wanted her.
No, I was going to say, like, is something similar to what you were asking before. Is there, like, a certain project you would like to do if you had a lot of time, a lot of friends that are willing to help, and resources?
Oh, I do remember some projects I am working on. Because I kind of put them on the back burner, and I forgot about them until it was asked, but I am working on some comics for RGRE. Like, I turned some of the prompts into comics, and I am still working on those. I am still writing. I have, like, 2 unfinished things. And I'm always writing in the Lyra thread, just short little clips of the same story, but kind of altered, because they're not all canon with each other, but they might as well be. And I'm also working on, because I did help Koni-chan write a lot of the lore for Rhorse Heresy, which is like a Warhammer Fantasy tabletop Rhorse edition, for second edition. I was thinking of like actually drawing art for it and like putting it all the homebrew notes in its own like little booklet for people to download, but I haven't figured out InDesign yet, and I it's a pain in the ass, and there's got to be a better way.
Yeah, MS Paint.
Honestly, that would be easier at this point. But yeah, I've been writing some things on the side for that, just like because the original setting I wrote it for was that either before or during the unification of the 3 tribes, and I just have a lot of horsey lore around that isn't entirely show canon, and it's really autistic, I know, but I really hate the show lore in some places, so I just filled it in with my own cool shit. I'll eventually work on that again, because I really like Warhammer Fantasy 2nd Edition. It's a really good system. I really like tabletops.
Same. I play 40k, not fantasy, because they cuck Bretonia.
But the Bretonians are fucking Frenchies. Who fucking cares? They eat snails and shit and wear boots on their heads. Like, what?
What?
They wear fucking boots. Hold on, I actually have that art folder still.
Who said that?
No, because they have like because this is a Bretonian, because they always put weird shit on their head, and the peasants, they will tie boots and like rats and shit to the top of their head because they're trying to be like nobility, and it's really funny, and they're all French and it's gross. It's somewhere here.
I get what you're coming from, because even in the official art they have like antlers and like a bunch of like just crazy shit that knights wouldn't actually wear on their helmets.
Yeah.
In combat.
And the peasantry, they're just like a million times worse. And
oh yeah.
oh man, little French horses with like carrots tied to their heads. Oh, that's actually fucking cute. I might actually draw that for the homebrew I'm doing. It's fucking great. I'm writing that down.
Have Lyra like riding into combat with Bonbon like just taped on her head.
Well, my waifu is not a fucking Bretonian.
Oh, what is she?
Like I said, she's pretty much the poster mare for shit posters. She probably would be Norscan because they're all pagans and demon worshippers and raiders, and I'd let Lyra raid my butt with her tickly whiskers.
Okay.
I mean, wait, what were we talking about again? I got sidetracked.
That's really gay.
Yeah.
Oh, I found it. Well, here's a guy with a bucket on his head and another guy with sheep around his shoulders. He's just carrying a lot of fucking sheep. I don't think these are Bretonians. Well, maybe the guy with the bucket is. Yeah, I can't find it. It's weird. I have a question.
What's your question?
How come Lyra's so pretty?
I mean, the obvious answer is that she is a mare.
Oh yeah, true.
Mentioned before, like something that always drew me to like the ponies is like their eyes. Like you just get lost in them.
Yeah, they're fucking great.
I mean, I don't know about Anon. How tall are you?
6'1".
Okay, so you're not a manlet. Good. Like, imagine if you were to be transported into Equestria. You're this 6 foot tall Anon, and all the ponies are just looking like up to you, like just in amazement, and like their eyes are like the first thing that you see, and it's just like, oh my god, these are fucking beautiful.
Right.
It's just, I don't know. That's just one answer. I mean, I do like her colors. They're nice.
Yeah. I want to be honest. I faced out there. I don't know what the fuck we're trying to make a point out there.
Lyra's really pretty.
Well, yeah, that's a universal constant.
Yeah.
She does smell like bonbons. That's also a good thing.
I feel like there's like other projects I'm working on that I'm just forgetting about right now. Like, does recording my Lyra learning for the Lyra thread, does that count? Because from like start to finish, I've been recording everything and posting it to the Lyra threads. No, I'm like recording myself playing the lyre, and like I recorded myself tuning it right out of the box, and I still play it for the Lyra threads, and it's really comfy.
You need to give me
How much do you tune it?
I tune it like once a month maybe. Doesn't really need it.
And how much did it cost, actually?
Like $50. It's actually cheap. You should get a lyre because they're really aesthetic sounding.
Post the Amazon link below. I'm gonna do some promotion with this shit.
We're not getting sponsored by these dudes, by the way.
Yeah.
We should though. I would like things that make lyres to
Wait, I think I found it. Is it this one? I'm just gonna post it in this thread. Is it this one? Is this where?
No, I have a 7-string one.
So, yo, if you wanna become like our horse and get good at art, just fucking buy one of these and you'll get good.
Oh yeah, like you gotta worship Lyra's hooves to be able to draw like me.
You gotta suck her toes.
Yeah.
Lyra doesn't have
What
toes.
the fuck?
What's going on?
The price for these went up. Why is this? And this is a shitty bag too. Like mine has like this nice bag.
And a lot of stuff's prices are going up.
I can't actually see the price because it's not shipping in my country. How what's the price?
$69, almost $70.
Jesus.
Here's one that is like a blank thing that you can paint yourself. $20. I wish I bought this one. I would have drawn Lyra on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Are you willing to you're willing to do that?
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
you do commissions, correct?
Yeah, I do.
How long does that normally take you?
Depends. Sometimes 2 days, sometimes 2 weeks.
And where do you usually advertise your commissions? Because as far as I know, I mean, I haven't seen you advertise it much. I just know that you do it.
Yeah, because I never really needed to. People ask me.
No. Yeah, that makes sense.
I do advertise it on Pastebin though, because like Pastebin is where I keep everything. Like I keep
fucking Pastebin out of all things.
Yeah, because everybody on MLP uses Pastebin for everything.
Oh, you're right.
So I use it to. I have a pro account, so I can post pictures and stuff on pastes.
Actually, you know what? I actually got a question here, because you keep that one link for the get good resources on Pastebin. Shall we leave it to the viewers, or is it?
Oh yeah. Here's some of my favorite books that I like to give to people that ask me. The CC Maker link might be broken, but everything else should be good.
Yeah. Just slap this one in the description of the YouTube thing.
Like, if you're just getting into drawing because of the whole quarantine thing, I recommend reading Scott Robertson's thing first, and you can buy Scott Robertson's Nomon videos on somewhere, or you can get them on CG Peers for free. I don't think I've paid for like one tutorial ever. Man, I probably have like thousands and thousands of dollars of art resources that I've just looked through when I first started. Like at least 700 gigabytes of stuff.
Gee, wait, 700? That's a lot of stuff. Is your computer even big enough for all that shit?
I have an external hard drive for most of those things.
Right.
So yeah, on CG Peers you'll find like schoolism stuff too, and that stuff is really neat. I actually haven't looked through all that stuff yet, but when I was learning, I would just open up one of these and listen through the whole thing through while I was drawing, and like write down notes as I was listening. And I think that helped me a lot.
Why don't you go to conventions?
I don't know. There's a lot of money, and I'm the kind of person that doesn't like to really spend it.
Can't believe Rod doesn't want to meet Jargon Scott.
No, you see, I want to be Jargon Scott.
Well, you've had people offer to pay your way to conventions, though.
That's fucking sketchy. I don't like that.
People from this server, though, that are your friends.
I don't like accepting things from people. That's spooky.
Do you own a Lyra plushie?
I wish. I'm too much of a poor fag.
Do you have any Lyra-related things in your house?
For the Valentine's Day thread, I have a lot of mint chocolates in a box, and I haven't made a dent through those, by the way. I still have a bunch of chocolate just sitting here under my desk.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm not super into candy, but it's from my waifu, so I gotta keep it there.
If I recall correctly, you have a tiny Lyra figurine, don't you? Or was it something else?
Yeah, I have the Funko Pop vinyl collectible.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
I have two of those.
Is it the ugly Funko Pop, or is it the good-looking Funko Pop?
It's the good-looking one. Two good-looking ones. None of them are black, thank God.
No. I'm talking about those fucking things where they got the huge head with the fucking beady little eyes. It's not
no,
one
I don't
of those.
got that. And I got this Lyra pin from the Valentine's Day thread too. It's really pretty. It's got like roses and everything is bordered with gold and everything. It's just the prettiest fucking pin I've ever seen. I can't place my finger on why. I have a Lyra. It's like a Lyra plushie keychain, but it's just a head and it's not like a full round head. It's just flat, but it's made out of like the same material you would put on a plushie. So I just kind of like to stroke it sometimes. Aside from that, I think that's it. Like this keychain thing was $13. This Lyra thing was like $20. The other Lyra one was free. That was a Secret Santa. I have another toy here from Secret Santa. I have a book, but I can't read, so I just look at it. Like I'm a fucking retarded bag. I think it might be on my bed. I sleep next to it sometimes. There's a picture of Lyra on it. I also have that really ugly looking Lyra one where it's like just a recolored Twilight one. She has like the same hair as Twilight Sparkle. Like those, it looks like one of those first models. And that was also Secret Santa. I love it still. I say ugly, but it's actually really pretty because it's green. Like I do have some other stuff, like because I've participated in like Valentine's Day thread. I have a letter from Lyra, but it's not really Lyra.
You don't know that
stuff. Oh,
yeah, exactly. How do you not know? Yeah.
Well, it's a letter from Lyra. I can tell. It's signed by her.
Yeah,
exactly. If you were to have like a plushie though, like would you want like a small one you can cuddle with, or like one of those big ones where you can,
You see, I would want something in between, and for me that would be big because if you noticed in my drawings, I like to draw my ponies dog size because that's just the ideal height for me for ponies. Because you could just pick them up and punt them, and it's really funny. Like the first thing I would do if I went to Equestria is bully the little horses, and it would be great.
No.
Don't
do that.
You gotta get bullied by the horses. That's some filthy plebeian, taste you got there.
They gotta be small horses. No, it's just because before those size chart things, which are really inconsistent, by the way, it's like the agreed size in AIE threads was that they were dog sized. So it just kind of stuck. Like every time I dream about Lyra, she is in fact dog size, like medium dog size, like maybe a Labrador.
I personally like the ponies to be, a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah, they gotta be at least 7 feet tall or something. I don't know.
7 feet tall. Jesus.
It seems that AnonTheAnon wishes to be domed by a mare.
No, because they're supposed to be little ponies.
A little pony.
Yeah, they're little ponies. Your little pony. Oh, and Secret Santa threads. I've been joining Secret Santa threads for a while, and I have some drawings of Lyra and Crown, and they're the best fucking thing in the whole world. I love them.
I mean, at least you're participating on the board.
Wait, do you have the pictures?
I don't. I could probably scan them. I think my dad has a scanner somewhere.
How far has technology truly come?
Way too much. We gotta go back, nuke everything, posadism, baby.
Yeah, I participate on the board when I can. I always lurk.
Well, that's something, because most people have just simply dropped the board.
And what's your opinion on the state of the board? Wait, did we have this question or no? Like,
I mentioned, like, it's really good. I like where it is now.
Huh.
Better than before.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember. Except that Roth, right? That's just fucking Nick's posting.
Yeah, there are some generals that are shit that I don't go to. Like the Homo Horse. Like, it's run by a bunch of fags.
Oh, of course.
Weird, right? What the fuck? I don't like Satyr Thread, because that's also run by fags. I don't like TF, because they're run by fag trannies. I don't like Anon Philly, because the same fag trannies are also in that thread.
It's a pedo. It's a pedos.
It's not, oh, look, Anon is a cute mare. Let's see adventures. It's, oh god, I wish I was a little mare so this and other Anon can fuck me. Like, it's not wholesome. You guys are fucking pedophiles.
Fucking gay.
And gay, yeah.
And cringe and Jewish.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
And tell me, what else is that epic and base and red pilled in the board? Tell me what's the most epic and base and red pilled thread out there?
Well, the Lyra thread, of course.
Well, that's just the obvious answer. We already knew about that, but the second epic and base and red pill one.
Probably RGRE. It's really fun. Like, I'll go in there and I'll world build sometimes. It's really comfy.
Yeah, I should drop him sometimes.
Like, that thread is still the most active because, like, the fundamental value in that thread is that it's world building Equestria from the ground up to make them more horse-like. Because in real life, horses are very matriarchal. You know, you have, like, the centerpiece stallion that'll, like, watch out for the herd, but it's actually the lead mare that'll, decide where you drink, where you sleep, where you eat. And that's what RGRE is built upon, and it's just so fucking comfy there. It's like a little slice of old TG.
Or you just want to be a housewife or a mare.
How can it be a what?
No, actually, I would have to be, like, the breadwinner of a family. And that's fine.
Imagine winning bread instead of, tons of money. Fucking idiots.
Alright.
I bet if Lyra had a PP, I would spoil her. I'd let her be, my house husband.
Husbino?
Yeah.
Husbano, or whatever the hell they call these things nowadays.
Slave Pony used to be amazing, but I only go there for like 3 writers now. And they're really good, by the way. I recommend reading their stuff, even though the idea of slave ponies are kind of off-putting.
Oh my god.
Namely,
Yeah.
AWF Lurker and Twilight Game Night. Those guys are super cool. I can't think of, AIE used to be where I went back in the day, but other AIE fags, like the old writers, have fucked off to do TG things, or because a lot of them, they were like mostly TG and CO. Like they just kind of fucked off forever.
Never to be seen again. How does one get entry in the Artist Illuminati?
What Artist Illuminati? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that shit doesn't exist.
I mean, I asked a question about it earlier, and you didn't deny that it did not exist.
Well,
what
you
question?
see, it's a flip-flop. It's a flip-flop.
I mean,
I
I was just talking about Jarg. I didn't say anything about a chat.
We'll have an In This Thread interview with the whole crew or something, but probably not. We ain't gonna promise anything.
Who's we? There's no we. There's no chat.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. What are the?
You see, it's a thing that we gotta do the thing because we want to make people believe that it exists because that's gonna make their life more interesting. But in reality, it doesn't exist. I could be lying. I could not be lying. Who knows? It's up to the viewer.
Yeah, imagine if there was actually like a weaponized group of shit posters that were just ready to swoop in wherever and kill a thread with like stupid fucking drawings of like gals with a small peepee.
Yeah.
Imagine.
I mean, I'm not gonna say we. Fuck, we just everybody knows it. No, but we just go to the draw thread and shit it up sometimes because it's full of fucking stupid requests anyway, and we just request art. It's just a circle jerk. We love circle jerking. We're circle jerking right now.
Yeah. It just gave me a weird memory.
Oh, tell us.
Of?
Way back in 2012, AIE, somebody thought, because that's when VG was getting really bad, and AIE had just split back off into like Flutter Rape and AIE, and there was also Spaghetti Pone, General, and also Dark Equestria. So there was only 4 generals then. And then somebody said, I'm not going to name anybody, that in like 5 to 10 years, the board is going to be exactly like VG. Like people are going to shit up threads, and they're going to get arrested, some of them, and it's just going to be unsalvageable shit. And it's been the opposite of that, actually.
Arrested as in like IRL arrested?
Yeah, like in the Aggie Daggy threads, at least 5 people have gotten arrested in real life. God, I forget what the abbreviation actually stands for. It's where they make games themselves.
Brony fandom has surprised me on that. There's been some pretty big criminals.
Yeah, but not like super bad. Like, yeah, there's pedophiles, like but striped and swiped, swiggity swooty. There's no mark on that booty. It's actually been pretty tame comparatively. You don't have these mega autists shitting up every thread, and then except for Nixfag.
Yeah, of course.
See, pretty much if Nixfag was actually like a real life criminal and was actually like a bad person and not just incredibly autistic, that's the kind of people you meet on VG. Like, I actually stopped going there when the Dwarf Fortress threads died out. Because then you had the fucking Rimworld fags going, now you are slaves.
That game is autistic, but that's a story for another time.
Yeah, oh man, I'm also super into Dwarf Fortress because that used to be a general on TG and it was super fucking fun. I still play it. It's still good.
You seem to have a well-balanced nerd I don't know if that's the proper word, but like nerd stuff going on.
Yeah, pony is definitely my main thing, but I do like to branch out to other things sometimes. But at least I'm not a furry.
Yeah, don't fall
God
into
bless.
That reminds me, I have wanted, and if anybody wants to collab, I have been thinking of starting another project, which is a bad idea, I know.
that.
I'll like bring back the fucking pony mod for because there was a pony mod for Dwarf Fortress, and it was really funny because in Dwarf Fortress, blunt damage used to do stupid amount of damage, right? And hooves were blunt weapons, and horses were very strong. So it's like you would like drop in the game, and in 5 minutes, you would get killed by one buck to the chest, and your heart would implode. When you play the pony race, you essentially had creatures wielding 4 of these deadly fucking weapons. It was so fucking funny.
These truly are the master race.
But it actually wasn't that in depth. Like if you've seen the Super Mario mod, oh my god, it's super fucking autistic with world building. Like it's so fucking cool. And if I could do something like that, but with pony, that oh yeah, you asked me that. Like, what would my dream project be? I actually forgot about that. It would actually be that.
All right.
I know it's not as grand as like other people said they'd make a fucking show or a cartoon. Like, I just want to make fucking Dwarf Fortress ponies.
It's fine. I mean, it's something.
Yeah.
Some people don't even have any answer.
Or like a VR Tickly Whisker Kiss Simulator.
2021.
Oh god, imagine.
So to like start wrapping this up, I'm gonna start asking just like straightforward questions.
Sure.
So one of them being, if you were to get to Equestria, and see Lyra, what would be like what would be the first thing you would tell her?
I'd try to nicker at her. Because I'd be a retard and think that ponies didn't understand English. And they probably don't, who knows. But I would nicker at her and try to approach her like you would a horse in real life, and that you don't just walk straight towards them, because ponies, most herbivores, they react on like a push-pull kind of thing instead of like a dominant submissive thing for predators.
Mm-hmm.
So the way humans interact with each other and the way we interact with dogs and things, it's actually really fucking weird for horses. And they'll like back off, but they won't like be totally afraid. They'll just back off because your body language is telling them to do that. Like that's something I also like I do it when I write, and I also do it when I draw, but in making horses more horsey, I make sure to get the ears right, because some people they make the ears pin when they're scared, and that's completely fucking wrong. Like horses don't pin their ears when they're scared. They pin their ears when they want you to fuck off, and their ears shoot up straight when they're actually scared.
Wait, what's pinning the ears again? Is it moving them back or something?
Yeah, like moving them all the way back.
Oh, okay.
Because sometimes they'll just like lean back, and that'll mean they're really relaxed.
So pinned back, it means fuck off. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, and they're not necessarily angry. They're just like, hey, step back, buddy.
All right. I'm gonna keep this in mind for whatever next animation I'm gonna make or stuff.
Yeah, on my autistic fucking paste bin, I actually wrote notes about it. I'm gonna try to find it.
All right, let's see. Who do you think's more like supportive as a group, like your old TG boys or like the MLP boys?
Definitely that one chat that doesn't exist, the not Illuminati chat. Like in terms of pony, right?
Mm-hmm.
You like doing projects, like who gives the most, feedback, who keeps like you in line, like, hey, keep going, like don't give up, like who are the ones that like are more supportive and such?
Definitely the non-existent chat. And as for like inspiration, mostly RGRE.
Again, I normally ask like people, if you were to leave the group, the fandom and stuff, are you just going to be silent and just leave, or would you like post one final thing and be like, Sayonara, Space Cowboy.
I'd probably leave a note on my paste bin, but not post it anywhere else, because that's kind of how like the old AIE dudes did it. They would drop out, but they would just leave a note on their paste bin and just leave everything there, and they wouldn't say anybody, and then you'd think, hey, this guy hasn't posted in 3 months. I wonder what's up with him. And you finally look at his bin, and then you see the thanks for the fish lads post, and it's like, oh, okay. I'll probably do something similar.
How does that make you feel when people like leave?
I mean, it's sad, and some of them I've actually bumped into again, like RT Pony. He wrote some of my favorite greens back then, and he got, I don't know, conscripted or something. And then he came back later on, and we talked shop again, and it was fucking great. And some of them, they did still stick around. Like, I still talk to, like, Pale Narrator and Sorkanon and all the other guys. Like, they're still around. They just don't write Rhorse anymore.
And if there were something you would, if you were able to go back and do something over again, like, what would it be?
In terms of the fandom?
In terms of the fandom. If you were able to start, like, let's say on something, like, sooner, you know, like writing or drawing and stuff, like, would you have done it sooner and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. I would have dropped out sooner and started drawing, definitely. And writing and all that. Because I ended up really liking it. Because at first it was like, I wrote because it's like, what the fuck? Nobody wants to read the story I want. It's like I have to make the content I want. What the fuck is this? And then it just kind of devolved from there. Like, it's like, well, nobody's making the drawings I want. I'm gonna try this.
Like, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's why I learned the lyre too, because like for years I was thinking, God, how comfy would the lyre thread be if one of these lazy fuckers would just buy a lyre and just pluck it. It doesn't even have to be music, just pluck it and post it in the thread, and I would love to listen to that when I go to sleep. And nobody ever did it, so I was like, fuck it. Here's $50, I'm getting my lyre. There it is.
A very wholesome thought of like you falling asleep and Lyra's playing the lyra for you.
Oh, hell yeah. I keep it next to my bed and I just pluck it with my eyes closed. It's fucking great. It's best sleep I ever fucking had.
And like, yeah, I think that's, I mean, does anyone else have any questions? Twyfag or Anon, do you have any questions?
No, I'm good.
I'm too drunk for this shit right now. I'm good.
This is a 2-hour one, man.
Oh,
yeah.
Really? Holy shit.
And
really.
It feels like 40 minutes.
I'm gonna edit it too, so haha.
Oh man, I probably just blabbered a lot about useless shit. You could just cut that out, or if it's like super off topic.
It's fine. I mean, this is, at the end of the day, this is meant to find out who this person is. Mainly pony centered, but other things that do come up and other interests are also something.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say pony set for a second. I was what?
Pony mod.
Pony mods. And if there's nothing else anyone wants to bring up, I guess we'll call it now. This has been a very wholesome ITT with our in-house special guest, Art Rhorse.
I like Lyra. She's really pretty.
Smells like bonbons.
Fake news.
I had my co-host, AnonTheAnon.
Wait, where's the...
Oh god. And then my very trusty recorder person, until I get my own PC that actually works, Twyfag Anon.
Yep.
Yeah, you too. Yes, again, thank you for being here and giving up your time. I know you're a very busy individual, and hopefully we'll see you soon in another ITT, maybe in a couple of years from now. But other than that, I hope everyone has a very good night, and we'll see you very soon. Goodbye.
Bye.